Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be telling you what I read in the month of October. So I actually read a lot this month. I read 9 books. Some were audiobooks and some were graphic novels, so that definitely helped me out. But I'm still really pleased with myself. I did still physically read, and I just feel a good accomplishment. You know, I'm a college student and things are getting crazier as the semester ends, so I don't know how much I'll be able to actually read in November, but I'm really happy that I was able to read a lot in October, and Jackathon was this month, so that helped out. Thank you so much to everyone that joined in on that readathon. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. And I also have my Stranger Things readathon coming up November 11th to the 17th, so there's a video. Go click the card if you're interested. So let's just go ahead and get into the books that I read. The first book that I read this month was Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. I absolutely loved this book. It was a 5 out of 5 stars for me, and I was so worried that I wouldn't love this book because it's just so absolutely pretty. I love this cover and I wanted to love it so dearly. I recently bought it and I immediately pretty much read it because I was just so intrigued by this. Basically, it's kind of similar to, like, the royal romance vibes of Red, White, and Royal Blue, but it's not at the same time, but, like, it gives you that a little bit. This book is about Millie, and she's from Texas, but she's, like, going through a little breakup right now, and she has been interested in going to this boarding school in Scotland, and after having the breakup, that was the only thing really holding her back. So she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Scotland, go to this boarding school. She got a full ride to it, which is pretty impressive. She ends up having to room with the Princess of Scotland, and pretty much they hate each other immediately. They do not get off on the right foot. And one, that is super entertaining because they're having to live together while they hate each other. And yes, but this is enemies to lovers. So these two girls, they get together in the end, let's be real. I really have been looking for a female-female romance that actually gave me like the cutesy vibes, like I was behind the romance. I've been looking for that because I've read some that are like, okay, but I don't really like feel the chemistry to the point where like I'm loving the book. And this one, I felt the chemistry, I felt the cuteness, I just really liked it. Please go read it, like it's just so good. This is actually a companion to Prince Charming, which was originally titled Royals by Rachel Hawkins. It's a companion, you don't really have to read it, and I didn't read it because I just wanted to read this one. I probably will read that other one eventually, but this is just the one that had the good premise that caught my eye, and I just absolutely needed to read it. So, and I read it so quickly, and as I mentioned in another video, the first line is, "There's a unicorn on this," and as I mentioned in my other video, I freaking love unicorns. This unicorn even matches. Oh my god. So the next book that I read this month was a reread for me, and I reread it on audiobook. It was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I read this book back in middle school, back in the first days of BookTube. For me, I was reading these books because they were super hyped, and it was the series that was all over BookTube and everything. And I loved it so much, maybe so much more than I ever loved it before. Like, I just am so into these books, and I completely forgot how much I loved them just because it's been so long. And the audiobooks for this series is so great. My friend Brittany recommended them to me. The narrator is just so great. She has a great voice for like every single character, and you can just like hear the freaking dialogue and just know who that character is. It's super cool. Sometimes audiobooks just all sound the same for every character, but this girl did it. Like, she did it. She went for it. So if you don't know what the Lunar Chronicles is about, basically each book is a fairy tale retelling and introduces a new character that is related to fairy tales, and this book follows a Cinderella retelling, and we have Cinder, our main character. This book is in a futuristic Beijing. It's New Beijing, and she lives in a world where there's people that live on the moon, and it's called Luna. These lunar people can control the way they look to you, and can also control people's minds, so they can get you to do whatever they want you to do. And basically, the lunar people are kind of like oh my gosh, they're so scary to the people of Earth. Cinder's also a cyborg, which is not really accepted in the world, unfortunately, and she comes across Prince Kai, who is the Prince of New Beijing, and she's a mechanic, so he comes and asks her to fix something for him that might have really important knowledge about the government and this evil Queen of Luna. So I'm not really explaining this very well, but this series has one of the most iconic villains. She is so well done. Queen Lavana, forever, man. She is crazy, but she has layers and you like really get to know her. I feel like you just see all the sides of her. So I just really enjoyed my reread of this. Had to give it 5 stars. So naturally, I picked up the second book, which is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. And this book follows a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. So we have our main character, Scarlet, and she meets this wolf hybrid dude named Wolf. I'm not going to go much into that because this is a series and I don't want to spoil you, but every single book we kind of connect with the past one. We still have the past characters and their storyline is still going on, and then we still have the storyline of these new characters that introduce. So each book expands even more. It gets more crazy, more complex. It's just so freaking good. But this one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars, and I probably would have given this 4 out of 5 stars when I was in middle school if I knew how to rate books other than 5 stars. This one, I'm sorry, I'm just not really into Scarlet and Wolf. Their love story, man, just doesn't get me going. Like, I just don't really ship them, like, at all. And that's a big part of the book, is their relationship and stuff. And I just never can fully get behind Wolf. Like, I like Scarlet, but dude, I'm just not a Wolf fan. Like, I don't know, like, I don't hate him or anything, but I do not really vibe with that guy. Attack me if you want, but I'm just not really that into him. But still really loved my reread of this book. Macy, shut up! This is just personally my least favorite book in the series. The next book that I read was actually A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I randomly decided to pick this up because Brittany hosted Schwab Timber with Kirsten and Alyssa, and I didn't join in because too much was going on with my life. I just could not, but she got me really excited about this series, the Shades of Magic series. I picked it up and ended up giving this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely a really good introduction to a fantasy trilogy. I'm super excited about the next one. I'm actually currently reading the second book. This book is about a world where there's 4 different Londons. So there's alternate universes. So there's Grey London, White London, Red London, and Black London. And we have Kel, who is one of 2 Antares. And Antares are people that have the magical ability of traveling between these Londons. And Kel lives in Red London, but the king uses him as a way to interact with the other Londons, and not all these Londons are safe. Or is any of them safe? I don't even know. But one day, Kel was going to Grey London. He was basically given this black rock that is apparently from Black London, which nobody is allowed to go to because Black London had all these magical issues. It's not good. Like, if you go there, it means death. Like, the magic that Black London created is terrible and really dark. And he ends up finding an artifact from Black London. Someone tricked him to take it. And then one day, Lila Bard, our other main character, she is a notorious thief. And she comes and steals it from him, which isn't good because he knows that this artifact is not good and he knows nobody should freaking have it. He has to track her down and they go on a freaking adventure because other people want this thing, this rock. Other people want it and they can't let people have it. They have to return it to Black London, which nobody can leave Black London if you go in there. So, oh no. It's really entertaining. Definitely a very slow read when you get into it. When it finally hits, like, the big plot, things get going. But, like, for, like, 200 pages, I feel, nothing was happening. So you really have to, like, stick with this book. I was still entertained by the characters. That kept me going to keep reading. But if you are really into quick, fast-paced plots, this might not be for you. But I ended up really enjoying it in the end. I had lots of little tabs, so I recommend. I'm excited about the rest of the series. The next book that I read was Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. I believe I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, though it's probably a 4, but like for now I'll just stick with a 5 because this book just made me so happy. This is a graphic novel about 2 people in a pumpkin patch. They've worked there every year of high school, and now this is senior year. This is their last Halloween at the pumpkin patch. It's about Deja and Josie, and they decide they need to make their last day at the pumpkin patch go out with a freaking bang. Like, they want to remember this forever, so they go on a little adventure, and I love the illustrations and everything. It just made me super happy. Their friendship is iconic, and Deja is definitely my favorite. She likes girls and guys, and she's black and she's thick, so I just really loved her. She was awesome. Yeah, I don't have much more else to say about this, but I really enjoyed it. Read it for Jackathon because it was the group book. The next book that I read, this was also for Jackathon. We're in the Jackathon reads now, okay? And I read Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. This book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this as well. It just didn't end up meeting that like full 5-star level. This is about a witch and a werewolf. Our werewolf is non-binary. We love them. And then we have Nova uses hearing aids, which I did not know about beforehand, but if you actually look, you can see that she is wearing it on the cover. And I just really liked seeing that because we just really don't see that much in YA or just books in general. I'm never seeing people wearing hearing aids, so I really liked that representation. The artwork was really beautiful. I can't get over like how pretty some of this stuff was. I just really liked it, and they had a cute romance going on together. They were childhood friends that came back together. Basically, this is Tam. People were trying to freaking possess them with a demon, and Nova and her witchy grandmas, lesbian grandmas, had to come together to keep Tam safe because, boom, we do not possess people with demons. Like, that's not okay. Pretty weird, but I still really enjoyed it, and I just love the representation packed in here, and the illustrations were just so cute. The next book I read for Jackathon was The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jinwing, another graphic novel, the last graphic novel of this wrap up, and I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars as well. So this is about Sebastian, who I believe is non-binary, but in the description it uses he pronouns, but like in the book it didn't really do that. So I don't really know. I just call them they just to make sure. And then we have a dressmaker who, forgot her name, Frances. Basically, Sebastian recruits Frances to create dresses for them. They are a prince of Belgium, I think. They're in France right now, but they mentioned that they're a prince of Belgium. So I'm super confused why they are in Paris. I don't freaking get it. They never get to really experience that side of themselves. So they get Frances to create these beautiful gowns for them, and I loved all the illustrations of the gowns. I just loved seeing like the dresses and stuff. I like fashion and everything, so it was just really cute. I'm trying to find one of my favorites. I showed this in a past video, but I really love this yellow gown. It's so cool. It's like a coming of age little story. Really enjoyed it. It was super adorable. Just very heartwarming in the end. Got a little bit sad, but got really sweet in the end. So really enjoyed it. The next book that I read this month was Cressed by Marissa Meyer. This is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles. I also audiobooked this one. These get bigger and bigger. This one is my favorite in this series. 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars to this one. It introduces Cressed, who is a Rapunzel retelling, and oh man, do I love Thorn so much. He actually is introduced in Scarlet, but we see him come together with Cressed in this book, and obviously I can't say that much because this is the 3rd book in a series, but I really liked how the Rapunzel story was done and how all of the characters are pretty much coming together at this point to join sides and join teams to fight against freaking Lavana. Ooh, do I hate Lavana. And basically she lives in a satellite in space because she's isolated from society, and then one day maybe Thorn comes to save her, you know the story of Rapunzel, so That's not really a spoiler. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Move on. And the last book that I read in October, you guessed it, Winter by Marissa Meyer. This one's like 800 something pages, but you can't tell because they used Bible pages, which is just a freaking crime. Like, oh my god. This one, 5 out of 5 stars as well. I am so sad the series is over. I don't even want to talk about how freaking sad I am because I had such a good time. I wasn't ready to be done with these books. I just got like back into them. I don't want them to be over. Like, I'm so sad. I love these characters so much. They're such an amazing cast of characters. The friendships that they create, it's just so freaking amazing. I just love it so much. And I'm still not over how good this series is. I never will be. It's so good. And this one follows the story of Snow White, and Queen Lavanna is actually the queen of that story. And then we have Winter, which is her stepdaughter. She is a princess, but not by royal blood. We love Winter in this house. Winter is such a sweetie pie. I love her so much. And this book is probably my second favorite of the whole series, and then Cinder, and then Scarlet. Oh, I just love this. It's so well done. I love how the series wrapped up, and I'm forever sad it's over. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. So those are all the books that I read this month. I'm really sad the Lunar Chronicles is over. I do have the novellas, so at least I have that, but it's not like a full freaking book. Okay, let me know what you read in October, and if you had a good Halloween, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like it, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.